Hello, how is everybody doing? Apologies for this. It seems that no good health can ever come of me. Um, yeah, yeah. Hello. Uh, my nose is entirely blocked, so you will see me using my nose dildo. Um, a fair bit. Nothing's making it through. I will likely also need to blow my nose several times throughout the stream, so I apologize. This is going to be a great stream. And by great, I mean terrible. But how are you all doing? How's things? Nope. Wonderful. Well, hello. How is everyone? I don't blame you, one viewer that turned up, saw what was happening, and left. I really don't blame you. If I didn't enjoy chatting with the folks on the stream as much as I do, I'd probably leave too. But yeah, how is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's yours? How's your week been? I went on a little trip to Portugal over the weekend for AOC. They got some interesting new monitors actually. Legitimately quite interesting. Yeah. But just I apologize for the lacking nasal airway. Um, if I could be better now, I really would be, but I am not. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Not usually this quiet. What's everybody been up to? There's all 8 people watching. No 6. Yeah, how's everybody doing? How's things? God, that's difficult. Oh. Some of the new monitors that AOC has coming out include a new 4K 160 hertz OLED for less than €1,000, so less than £1,000. Who knows about dollars? They have a dual frame rate display, so basically what it does is it duplicates each line and pixel set, so it turns 4K 160 hertz into 1080p 320 hertz, which is quite cool. I'll be interested to see what the like response time is like to see if it can actually keep up at 320 hertz. Again, my apologies. Yeah, what else have they got? A 600 hertz TN panel. Um, hello B. No worries. I do hope we eventually get rid of daylight savings time. It sucks, but fair enough. Enjoy your rest. Oh. Yeah. A few new OLEDs, a few new budget ones. Yeah. Any thoughts about the AMD AI Max 3950 with its strong APU? Well, actually, I'd really like to have one of those in because they look really cool. They look like the ultimate, at very least, like HTPC type, like media gaming center, like living room TV. Looks like that'd be the ultimate thing for that. And the fact that it fits in, low power form factors, really, really cool. And the fact that it's like, at least I think it was it the 370 or was it the 392, 395? Which one is in the framework laptop? Framework desktop, sorry. Framework. Yeah, no, it's an AI Max 300. Which one? Show me the specs. 385 and 395 plus. Right. Yeah. It was as fast as like a 4060, was it? That's really, really cool. Really cool. So yeah. Definitely of interest. Obviously, it falls more under like laptop form factor, so you end up with things like soldered RAM, which is an ideal, uh, generally less like I/O and stuff like that. But for having an entire gaming PC basically on a single chip, it's ridiculously cool. Definitely something that I'm interested in, for sure. Hi, Ish. See you in a minute, Ish. Sorry, I've got a cold. Hello, Be Right. How you doing? Good to have you. I can only apologize every time someone turns up to when you hear this. I am immunocompromised and I went on a trip, which means that I got an infection of some kind. I think it's just a cold. Uh, but nonetheless, I am ill. More ill than I usually am, but in a different way. I don't know. Also, a new tool arrived right as I was about to start a stream. It is a dial indicator and a magnetic base, and I haven't actually got it out yet. It's still brand new in box. I want to have a look at this because it's a new toy. I mean tool. I've wanted to buy one of these for ages, but I've never been able to justify it until now. Now I justify it. As do I. I hope that it's just a cold. That's what I should say. This is a dial indicator. So as you can see, as I push the plunger up, it measures that distance. So if you just want to move it any amounts, tenths of millimeters. No, hundredths of millimeters. I think in the gradations there. Yeah, so you can zero it. So in this case, you would zero it like try and get like that, and then if anything touches it, you know how much they've moved it. Whee! That's cool. And then the other cool thing is the heavy lump at the bottom of the box, which is this. This is really cool. So this is a switchable magnet. So right now you can see it's off. This is not magnetic. If I you know, try and like touch these metal tweezers to it, nothing happens. But if I turn this switch, wait, are these aluminium? Is that why? Or something magnetic? There we go. Right, something magnetic. See, nice strong magnet. I want to turn it off, but I don't want to drop the thing on my desk. But if I turn it off, oh, damn it, I dropped it anyway. It's not stuck. No sticky. Turn it on. Sticky. How cool is that? And then there is a couple of arms and mounts in here to mount those two bits together. And I will explain the reason why I bought this in but a moment once I get it out and assembled. That's a new instrument to measure the incremental value that you add in each generation. Something like that, yeah. Why is there? Oh, I see. Washer goes on that side. And this screws into this. See? Works. New toys. I love new toys. See? Polish. And then I think these are a couple of mounts that let you mount the second pole. Yes. And then I think this one mounts the dial, does it not? It does indeed. As I said, once I get this assembled, I will explain what its purpose is. Just tighten this. There we go. And then that one goes in there. So that switch goes from all the way from on to the heady heights of off, like in Spinal Tap. Oh wait, well it does, but the fact that you can turn a non-electromagnet, like this is not electronic. This will continue working for maybe not ever, but for the foreseeable future. But the fact that you can turn a permanent magnet on and then with a flick of a switch turn it off is ridiculously cool to me. But I am also a massive nerd, so maybe that's not a surprise to many people. Let me get it assembled. Like that. Now we have an assembled thing. Then you loosen this one, and now it can, you know, go measure stuff down there. You loosen that one to, you know, whatever, right? But the reason that I bought this, besides the fact that I have wanted one for a while, and because I desperately want to be a machinist if I ever had any space, is that I'm building another tool. This is a testing stand, so these are the tiniest, cutest little servo motors. So it's gonna focus. Normal servo motors are like, you know, that size. So the fact that this is this size is just ridiculously cute. Like it's so tiny and cute. This is a very much first prototype. I've already made a revision, but the idea is to be able to test things like analog switches for their accuracy. You'll have a little arm or something that pushes on the button, like pushes on the key switch, and as it pushes down, the motor knows how far it's pushed down, and therefore knows, and then like once it gets the signal from the keyboard, it knows what the actuation distance actually is. That's the idea, but I need to be able to measure the arm's accuracy. Enter this. I can measure exactly how much of the arm's movement is being done. Like how much a single step of that servo stepper motor is, or even a microstep is, and the accuracy and repeatability of it as well. Keyboard manipulator arm needs eyes, like googly eyes. So I've actually decided to swap from an arm to a gear and rack and pinion, basically, because math says that the further this arm is away from the motor has a fixed increment of 1.8 degrees. Now, even if you microstep that at 1/32 of a degree, that's still not a lot once you make it out here, which is where it kind of needs to be. So, if you make it a rack and pinion instead, you can make the gear really small, and then you just have a long bar, a long rack, basically. And then you can actuate the key, no problem. So that's what I've redesigned it to. So yeah. Ha. One of the reasons why I'm making this, besides having wanted to make this for a while, is that I finally got a TMR, tunneling magnetoresistance keyboard, into review, and they actually sent me both a TMR and Hall Effect version. And the problem with that is that, at least to the fingers, there's basically no difference. And while there being basically no difference is an interesting observation, it's a more poignant observation if you can say, according to actual data, there is an difference, and be able to quantify it, and then go, but the difference doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Now that this is not going to be done in anywhere near good enough time to be able to test those boards. In fact, that video is already done, but it'd be nice to be able to go back to those boards and test them again at some point, basically. And like I've also I've been getting more analog keyboards in which have adjustable actuation points, and one of, I think it was Corsair's main selling points of the like K70 Max or whatever it was called, was that their switches are more accurate than anyone else's, and I just don't have the equipment to test that, so naturally I'm gonna make it. And I think I'm just going to make it work with the standard latency tool software. Maybe. Yeah, I don't really want another project to maintain, but I might need to make a new testing window for it, but that's fine. Latency tool software is a bit more modular anyway, considering it's a second take. So yeah. How's everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's universe? How's your week been? My hair dangling off my glasses somewhere here. There we go. Got it. Yeah. Quite high up. Hello, Simon. Yes, unfortunately, our clock seemed to go forward a week or so earlier, or a week earlier than yours. And even more unfortunately, for me anyway, I have a cold, because I went on a trip and I'm immunocompromised and it sucks. Has the sun even risen down there? Good question. It is summer down there, so maybe. Or autumn? Is it autumn? Yeah. I would have more energy, but that's not available right now. Oh, yeah. One of the fun things about trying to make such a small stepper motor like this work is that uh, it's actually remarkably low voltage. I think it's rated for no more than about 3.5 volts. Um, which is considerably less than, hold on, which is considerably less than most stepper motors and most stepper motor drivers. And so, yeah, I've had to buy a specialist one that I hope will be here tomorrow to actually test it out. But yeah. Uh, Also, trying to work out how I'm going to power that over USB, basically. I think the answer is I'm going to put a little 3.7 volt LiPo battery in the bottom of the tool, basically, to act as a large capacitor, essentially. It'll only use it to run that, but means that you don't have to have a second, like an external power supply or anything to be able to use the stepper motor. Autumn, it's still dark outside. Sunrise about 7, according to the weather app, 7:35. Oh, there you go. It is dark here, so it's coming around to you. You'll get it in a minute. Or about, I assume, 15 minutes? I don't know what time it is there. Oh, yeah. I was looking up the shipping rules for shipping with batteries, and at least with UPS, as long as it's just a single sub 20 watt hour cell, which obviously mine would be, it's like 7 watt hours is the one that I'm looking at. You don't need any special stuff. You might need a sticker, maybe, but IATA says no. I don't know, but shouldn't be too much of a problem, which I'm happy with. Oh, it's 6:20 a.m. there. Okay. Then you get it in an hour and 50. Dear. Broadcom has bought Proxmox. Oh dear. Rip Proxmox. Generally, when anything even remotely open source gets bought out, that's generally a bad thing. Because Proxmox was, well, I assume for the moment it still is, fully FOSS, like free and open source. I assume. Sold for only 13 mil. Fair. Just scored a cheeky chicken dinner in PUBG. Nice. No, they haven't bought Intel. The funny thing about like the tech world is that I wrote that video a couple weeks before it went live. When the idea that Intel might buy, no, Broadcom might buy, Intel was a very like real reality, basically. And by the time it was published, they'd already ruled it out. So yeah, fun times. Didn't Broadcom also buy VMware? Wasn't that Oracle, or was that? Uh, no, I might be confusing things. VirtualBox is Oracle. That was it. Um, right is question no Ish is questioning your sources, essentialist. Are you gonna stand for that? Oh dear. Broadcom bought VMware and then monetized monetization, as I understand it. Yes, it was already pretty monetized. It's a now deleted thread on the Proxmox forum, so I don't know. You do realize that it was yesterday, wasn't it? Only 2 days ago was April Fool's. Like, was that an April Fool's post on the forum? You come in here, spreading misinformation. Ugh. Well, I guess we'll see if it pans out. If it happens or not, eh? Oh dear. I prefer to spread as little misinformation as possible. I do my best, but I'm also an idiot. Uh, you do that very well, essentialist. See you, Chris. Good to have you. Ooh. And he's on CS2. Oh no, that's you, isn't it? Oh dear. Has anything interesting in the tech world happened while I've been ill in a way? I've not caught up with. I mean, I know that it was April Fool's at the weekend, 2 days ago, Tuesday. So there was a few. interesting announcements. But yeah. Was the pick of in Discord a secret with the tarmac? What, in the Moneyman chat? And I was asking if anyone in Moneyman had plain autism. Because as I said, I went to Portugal the weekend for AOC. Went to Lisbon. It was quite nice. His partner is a VTuber. Come on, keep up the Moneyman chat, Ish. Come on. What are you doing? Yeah, AOC's main point was basically that they, what you call it? Come on, brain. They really like undercutting people in price. And they intend to keep undercutting their competitors on price, which I'm all for. Also, this current batch is all IPS monitors. If it's not TN for 600 hertz or curved, which means VA or OLED, then it's IPS, not VA. Whereas the next round, like next year probably, we're gonna see a load more VA panels new, basically. So yeah, interesting. The best April Fool's joke was when Makita released the microwave oven. It was on April 1st. No one believed it. That's the problem with announcing anything on April 1st now, is that they've ruined it. Yes, they do make a profit. They sell enough volume to definitely make a profit. Ow. I've been blowing my nose so much that like, skin is burning, so I'm gonna moisturize it. Apologize. But, Emil, what do you want? Mine is also technically AOC, it's Evnia, or MMD, which is the same company, Philips. TPV is the parent of both. I have another AOC there, and I have a ViewSonic above it. So, yes. Ha ha ha, that stings a lot. But moisturizing helps. If you ever have like, well, if you ever get a cold and then have, red raw nose, moisturize it. It helps an awful lot. Well, Philips is split into a lot of arms. Like their Philips Hue stuff is made by Signify, which has always been the case as far as I'm aware, but it's Philips brand Signify stuff, especially if it's Zigbee, but I think that's all of it. Yeah. And their monitors are, especially their new Evnia brand is a growing brand. So yeah, there's that as well, but obviously that's made by TPV, the same people who make AOC. But yeah. thought more OLED monitors are coming. And they are. What I mean is there are now more OLEDs and a load of new fast IPS panels with a couple of like TN and VA options for the ones that is required. Like the 600 hertz one is TN and the curved ones are VA, but everything else is either IPS or OLED. But what I'm saying is that that's going to flip in the next year or two, where the IPS panels will slow, like you'll get fewer new IPS options and more fast VA options instead. So yeah. TPV is actually still Dutch as well. Their headquarters are in Amsterdam. I know because I keep shipping OSRCTs there. um, that might be their listed headquarters, but their operational headquarters, or at very least their European headquarters, what do I know, is Amsterdam. PPV Tech, I think, is their name. Yeah. Thanks, Dish. I'm glad you enjoyed them. What did you think of the NVIDIA one? I know it's a lot longer, but there's also almost more to talk about there. I think the interesting thing about those essays is what to leave out, because there's endless amounts of information that even just summarizing the information would still take hours and hours and hours. So you end up having to leave out quite a lot. But I tried to keep it as on track as possible. I can't say that I know the address off the top of my head. I've not been there, so don't know. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that when I was doing those two in particular, and especially the video one, I was obviously looking up a lot of what you call it? Come on, brain. I was looking up other videos about it all, and most of the NVIDIA history videos are AI either script or script and voice. One of the giveaways with the, like, if it's an AI voice, is that especially with anything remotely technical, the correct way to say CUDA is CUDA. One video in the span of like 2 minutes said CUDA, 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 CUDA. And it's like, also Jensen Huang, Jensen Wang, Jensen Wong, Jensen Huang. It all in the span of a couple of minutes. And so it was like, if you're a real person and you don't know how to say something, you just pick one way to say it. Like, if you're gonna say it wrong, fair enough. But if you say it wrong and then in a scripted video change your mind and say it 4 different ways within 2 minutes, that's not human, that's AI. So yeah. Tried pronouncing it both ways. In the end, it was a TI. Nice. Dead Internet Theory. Kind of. I mean, the problem with NVIDIA as a video essay topic at the moment is that it's so heavily, like, stock market-ified. Like, sorry, most of those videos were the history of NVIDIA's stock. You know, like, the history of NVIDIA, information investors will care about, kind of thing. Whereas I very much don't care and would rather tell you the tech story, because I think you lot are tech nerds enough to be interested in the difference between, I don't know, the Riva TNT and the GeForce 256, you know? Oh, God. Oh dear. I actually had either TNT or a Rage-based machine when I was super young. My first hand-me-down system was an FX, like 5200 or something, from NVIDIA, which is the GeForce 5 series, I think. Well, actually, I did have a Pentium 3 based system, but I couldn't tell you what graphics card may or may not have been in that. It might have been Matrox for all I remember. I just love being ill. Pentium on a card is Pentium 3, yeah. Um, or Pentium 2? Yeah. I think Pentium 2, definitely Pentium 3, and then they phased it out for Pentium 4 and Pentium D. Nice. That's just nice. I mean, until I built my own machine, an FX 8120 and an HD 6870, I'd only had hand-me-downs from my parents. It's really amazing how much crap comes out of you when you're ill. Pentium Pro, Celeron, Pentium 2, and Pentium 3. There you go. I know that that was also when Xeons came out. The Pentium 2 and the Celeron were the same processor. It was just that the Celeron was a cut down version. And I think that was the first time they did actual SKUs within the product stack. Like, not just if you want to buy something from us with a bit less performance than our top end, but it's cheaper, go buy the last year's one. The Celeron was the first time that they went, No, you can still buy the newest architecture, just not the highest end chip. You can buy a crapper chip from us, also at a discounted price, but you know, it's not as fast. My first motherboard is on the shelf over there. Or my first purchased motherboard, anyway. God knows where the other one, the other two are. And then they also had Xeon, which was you can pay more for a fancier server chip. That had, what was it, like extra cache and the ability to run multiple sockets. Oh dear. Oh. I'm excited to get my little keyboard tester project working. I'm hoping that the stepper motor driver arrives tomorrow so that I can test it out and actually I'll print my new design this evening. Where is... Let's up here for a sec. Which screen is it gonna do? Oh, hello. I grabbed the wrong bit of the window. Sorry. 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 I have a sneaky suspicion it will do that screen, so let's try. Shall we? There we go. Now you can see my screen. Here's Fusion 360. So this is the new motor mount that I designed. So instead of having an arm like that, that's kind of wobbly and crap, I've reprinted this bit to have a rack and pinion. So you got the gear there. If I hide my sketches. One bolt to secure it because the motor slides in here and it's a ridiculously tight fit. So it's really only one screw to just hold it in place and to stay out of the way. You have the rack there, so if I hide the body, see a nicely designed rack and pinion with proper teeth and everything. There might be too much clearance, but I can come and adjust it later, so see how that goes. That nicely so slots in there. Very little tolerance. But you can see there is tolerance the whole way around. With some tabs to guide it. And then this is the stand. It's been reinforced. And that stand goes through that hole. And then there is a nice knurled thumb screw that goes through that hole and into that hole, which is an upgrade on this star screw, which you can see here. Yeah, pretty cool, right? It's really cool to be able to like just make stuff, like design stuff like this, you know, be able to bodies. You know, this goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Oop, oop. I should probably put a captive end on this, shouldn't I, actually? Then it can't go out, it'll just like lock up or something. Anyway, yeah. So that is the next, like, the thing that I'm working on right now in terms of new tools, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I think a captive end. Maybe even something that just stops it from going. Like if I extend this out a little bit. I'm looking at the stream, not the screen. I extend that out a bit such that the distance here to the last tooth is there. And then, sure, for the sake of argument, let's go with that. Sketch at the end. Offset the whole thing. And then extrude both of those. I don't know. 0.5 mil? Sure. But now, got a wee cap on the end. So, fill that back to bodies. And now, if it goes too far, it stops there. Teeth are still engaged. And that stops. Profit. Nice. You could, but where's the fun in that? Now it's a nice bar. Save that. Profit. Camera died. Can you still hear me? Are we still going on the stream? I'll swap back to that just so that I can check. I heard a bunch of audio pop out of something else. You can hear me? Wonderful. Let me... disconnect and reconnect the HDMI. Yeah, I know it's frozen. Let me hide my ugly face. I'll leave the forehead there so that if I you know, I can still see some movement, but you don't have to look at my face. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna do I have to? There we go. Fixed it. Now we're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, don't know what happened there. A load of my peripherals just turned off. I guess one of my USB controllers just shit the bed. But yeah, there we go. We're back. Fun times. Also, hello, Simon S63. How you doing? How's things? Celeron's also got SMT, but without a bit BP6. I don't know what that is. And you can't believe that it has its own wiki page. I mean, okay, I'll bite. First motherboard to allow the use of 2 unmodified Celerons. Oh, okay. I see why now. It was a hacking board. I'm good. How's things? Not amazing. Because I'm immunocompromised, turns out that I pick up viruses very easily, as well as can be thoroughly ruined by them. Um, so because I went on a small trip over the weekend, I now have antivirus. um, so yeah, I sound great, I know, but yeah, it's not too bad. It started with a sore throat. Now it's nose blocked. I'm hoping that that's it. I had some achy joints today, more achy than usual joints. Um, but yeah. Just got the motherboard for my first PC, I think from Overclockers. Had a Celeron 733 from 2001 and a GeForce 2 MX 400 from 2000. Uh, it's the other way around. Nice! Well, your first PC has only one generation earlier graphics than mine. Mine was an FX, I think like 5200 or something, which is um, fifth gen. And I couldn't tell you when the Pentium 3 launched, like the actual date, to know if the seller on 733 was any older or newer. Oh no, the FX card was from a on a Pentium 4. So, yeah. Just been for a 1,000 meter swim, and I'm now going to relax the beer. Nice. Feb 28th, 99. Thanks for the specifics. Um, it's all for naught because I realized that was my first PC, not my first PC with a graphics card that I can remember anyway. So yeah, I've been immunocompromised since my heart attack. So good, wonderful. Uh, yeah, I will be immunocompromised in one way or another for the rest of my life. The rest of my probably short life. uh, Essentially, if I had that option, I'd be exercising it. It's as far as I'm aware, it's not a COVID, so I'm good. Oh, oh, oh. The throat does still hurt a bit. I really am ish, in every possible way. Fast cars, fast bikes, fast planes, fast death. Trip was fine. As always, the people made it interesting. There's quite a few of the people who have bought tools from me were there, somewhat unsurprisingly, because only monitor reviewers buy response time tools, and funnily enough, it was a room full of monitor reviewers. Um, it was a really cool Polish guy who was very, very, very excited to see me, which was, I mean, very cool, but doesn't know what to do with. Uh, yeah, yeah, weird. Um, yeah, otherwise, fine. I don't really like travel. I don't. I'm autistic. I don't like leaving the house. I don't like people. So yeah, it's always mixed. Uh, Funded my partner basically half the money she needed for a bed. It's crazy that I went from being very much in debt to now being like, yeah, sure, don't worry about it. Well, that's good on the debt part for sure. Nobody likes people. People are crazy. Yes. Yes, that is true. It's true indeed. €200 as in for the frame? Because like €400 for the frame, fair enough. €400 for the mattress, that's quite cheap. I'd be concerned. The whole thing, that's quite concerning. I mean, like, fair enough, but that's still quite concerning. Yeah. I mean, I know that I'm looking at orthopedic mattresses because my back is fucked. But yeah. Is it for the um playroom? Jesus. 3 grand for mattress is also insane. How have you gone to two ends of the spectrum? I realize that we're both on the spectrum, but that's not the joke here. My bed was 2 grand 10 years ago. That makes more sense. Yeah, like it's a lot of money, but also you're using it for 8 hours a day every day. It should probably be a good one, right? I'm building my next bed frame with storage and whatnot. Um, so yeah, isn't everyone on the spectrum somewhere? Um, I mean, everyone here is on the spectrum, yes. Does anyone actually get more than 6 hours of sleep though? Yes, me. I go to bed at like 1. I get up at 9. I sleep the entire time, and I do not feel rested when I wake up. I haven't had a good night's sleep in like 20 years. Like, genuinely, since I was a child. It's great, was in lots of debt until about 3 years ago. Now, that house across the road is like 1 for 2 million, and I was like, yeah, I have that spare. Good fortunes. Good fortunes. Uh, oh, right. I am gonna go rest. What I probably should have been doing instead of streaming, but I like chatting with you guys, so why not? I will see you all hopefully next week, assuming I don't, die from a common cold. um, and yeah, I'll see you all next week. I hope you all stay safe. Hope you all have fun. And yeah, I'm gonna try and get better.